And welcome to my video. It's an introduction to a 3D CAD program called Sketchup. Now, you'll have used a 2D CAD program at school, as you know, 2D design, but this one is three-dimensional, so it's a bit more complicated, but you can do other things with it, and it's quite fun to use. It is used by professionals. In particular, it's popular with architects, so they make buildings. Interior designers also use it as well. So I'm going to show you how to make a basic design like this little house here, which I've just done in a few minutes. Teach you some of the tools, and then hopefully you can sort of have a go and see what you can make with it. I'll show you something I've made with it before. I tried to design an interior for a living room here with this one. This was an older version of the program, so it looks slightly different to the one we're going to be using today. But I tried to make some interiors for a house with it. Show you, this is the kitchen. Trying to sort out a layout, and I've made another one over here. This was another one I did here. So you can see you can do quite nice interiors with it, and it's also used for exteriors as well as products. You can do products with it as well. I'm going to show you how to make this then. You don't need to download this program because you can just use it in a browser. So if you go to sketchup.com in your web browser, it should come up with this. You go to products at the top and you go to SketchUp free. So it's free to use, and you just use it in your browser. This is an example of some furniture that's possible to make. You can make things like that. So you just go to Start Modeling here. There we go. So that's loading up. While it's loading, I'll show you another one. Another one I've done. Oh, it's some other examples I've got here. Oh, it's loaded up now anyway. Okay, so we go to Start Modeling. There we are. So once it's opened, you always have a person. We've got this woman here, and the point of that is that's to give you a sense of scale. So we now know sort of what size we should be working to. So if you think of her as a normal person size, then we can, if we're building a house, we can build it to fit her. And you've got the three axes marked. We've got the blue, the green, and the red. So we've got X, Y, and Z axes. If you remember you might know from maths. Now, first things to do, you can try out moving the camera around. This tool here, at the bottom left, is Orbit with the green and the red arrows. And if you hold down, you can move around by holding down the mouse and moving. I'm using a laptop's pad here. I'm not using a mouse, but it's probably easier with a mouse. With a mouse, you can use the scroll bar to move in and out, to zoom in and out, or with this Mac, you can use two fingers on the mouse pad and go up or down to zoom like that. There's two fingers on the pad. Also, if I hold down Shift, I can move things around as well. You can do that by clicking this hand here as well. Pan, that's called pan. There we go. That's pan, orbit, and zoom. You can also zoom by using the magnifying glasses here. If you don't have the scrolling wheel on the mouse, or if you can't use two fingers on your trackpad. Okay, so the first tools to use, you can use this one here, which is the line tool. This will automatically click to the origin, and you can click. You can draw along lines. You see it's on the red axis there. If I hold down Shift, the line will darken. See, it darkens if I press it, and that means it's stuck on that line. So I can go all the way along that line. Click again. I'm going to just draw a square here. So I'm going to go along. I want to go parallel with the green axis. So if I hold down Shift, that will always go parallel with that. There we go. I'm going to go back to the green line and back to the origin. An alternative to using the line tool is the rectangle tool here, just show you that quickly. It's a bit simpler. So you just click where you want to start and draw it out like that. You can draw them on different axes, so I could draw one like this if I wanted to. There we go. The next tool then, after the line and rectangle tools, is this push-pull tool here. That one with the arrow coming out of the block. If I select a surface like the square I've drawn on the floor, I can hold down and pull it up like that. Or if I orbit round, I can pull out the wall that I did there. You can either go in or out, both ways are okay. So there we go, I've just made some boxes. See, you can pull them all around like that. Right, I'm going to try and make a roof like a house. So one way to do that, if I use the line tool, and I can draw from corner to corner on the top, endpoint to endpoint. You'll notice the little green dots as when you get to an endpoint or a center point like that, they'll appear. Then once I've drawn my cross on the top, let's pull a bit around to show you that, I can pull that up. I use a different tool now. I use this one. This is called the move tool, with the 4 arrows facing in the 4 different directions. Right, if I go to the center point, see the little green dot appears when I get to end point. I want to hold down shift so it locks onto that, and then I can pull up my roof like that. Oops. Right, let's have a look how does that look. There we go. So I pulled that up. It looks a bit wonky actually. I think I did it to the side. There we go. I just undid that. I think I'd pulled it over one too many times. So I can move that again if I want to. If I use move tool, again that one. Select the endpoint, and I start moving it. Once I'm on the blue axis, which is the vertical axis, if I select shift, then it's going to lock onto that. So I know it's not going to go off center. Okay, see, I can go up and down as much as I want. And there we go. So I've got my roof. Now I've talked about at the start that we wanted it in scale with the person there. One way to do that is to use the scale tool. So if I select everything, scale tool, is it in here? Offset, no, it's in move. Here we go. So you go in move, scale. It's just a different version of this to what I'm used to. Right, let's select it again. There we go. So I've pressed scale, and I've got this box come around everything. I don't really want to scale the woman. Right, so I'm going to scale everything to make it look like a normal house side. I'm going to go from corner to corner, opposite diagonally. I'm going to scale it till it looks sort of the right size for what's going to suit her. Probably a little bit bigger. Go the other way, don't I? There we go, that looks about right, I'd say. So I've used the scale tool, I've made it the right size. I think I've put the woman inside the house now. Zoom in and take her out. There she is. There we go, I've selected her. Zoom back out again. Now if I use move, just want to move her out to the side. There we go. I've moved her out so she isn't inside my building anymore. All right, so I've got a building there. I think my whole building looks like it's floating in the air, doesn't it? So I'll select it. I'm going to use move, and I'm going to try and move it up a little bit on the does that look? Yeah, it looks like it's on the floor now. I could draw a floor in to make it easier to see where the floor is. So if I start on this line, there we go. So now I've got my basic house shape. Okay. What I can do now is I can start to add details like doors. So I could draw one in the front here, like that. And then I can use the push-pull to push it in a little bit. I may want to draw a door frame around it as well, just to add details. Try and make it look as realistic as I can. It's really quite a nice, simple program to use. It's quite enjoyable. I'll push the door frame in a little bit. Maybe it needs a door handle. I can use in the rectangles. I can use the circle tool here. I can draw a door handle if I double click. And then I want to pull that out with the push-pull tool. Maybe it needs a window. Okay. You can actually colour it all in as well. So if you use the paint bucket tool here, if I wanted to put glass in that window, for instance, I could go to the magnifying glass here. There's a glass and mirrors one. This one's translucent glass, so you can, if I did that, I'd be able to see inside the building. So I can see the details inside. I want some brick for the brickwork. There we go. I'll do that wall there as well. Asphalt and concrete. Let's do a bit of floor there. How's it looking? We've got one for tiles. So lots of interior ones: carpet, fabrics, leather, textiles. There's roofing. Let's go for those. There we go. So already, you'll see that's taken me just a few minutes. I've got quite a nice looking little house there. I haven't scaled it perfectly. She's still a little bit too big for the door. I still need to sort that out. But so what I want you to do is have a go. See if you can make a house like this. You could obviously it will need windows. You could have more doors. You could have stuff outside, or you could do an interior like that other one I showed you at the start down here. You can have a go at making an interior as well. There are some things you can put in there, some products you can add. You can have a go at that. But I want to see what you can do, basically. Have an experiment, have a play around, see if you can make some really nice houses and interiors. If you take a screenshot and email it to me, I'll give out achievement points for those of you that have done really well with this. But I'm quite excited to see what you can do. So go on SketchUp. Again, you don't need to download anything. You can just use it in the browser. So no worries about downloading it or filling up your computer or your computer not being too powerful. It's all on the browser. So that's fine. Yeah, so have fun with it and let's see some really cool houses. All right. Well, yeah, send me an email when you've done that with your screenshot. And I'll see you back at school soon, hopefully. Okay, bye.